Let's talk about some ways you can save for education. There are 4 main ways. 1, you can just save. 2, you can do a 529 plan. 3 is your Coverdell ESA, or you can do an UTMA. 529s let money grow tax-free, assuming you use it for college expenses. You're allowed to contribute up to the gift tax exclusion every year, or you can do 5 times the exclusion once every 5 years. Some states also let you purchase prepaid tuition through a 529 plan. Coverdell ESAs are smaller. They let you save $2,000 a year, and this will grow tax-free assuming you use it for education. These are generally better for funding K through 12. UTMAs are just a way of gifting money to your kids. You can give as much as you want, but anything above $15,000 gets taxed, and this might mess up their FAFSA. That said, you can shelter $2,200 in income from your personal income taxes.
What is the most financially messed up thing that your college has done to you?
I have so many, but here are the 2 that stand out the most to me. 1, you can negotiate all of your tuition and your scholarship numbers. Never take a number that they give you at face value. Always go into the registrar's office and just ask. 2nd, COVID gave colleges money to give to students just to help them if they had to move or anything like that because of COVID. And so I learned about this online, shot my college an email and just said, hey, I'd love to apply for the COVID relief. And they bought me an iPad. Here are 4 ways to reduce your tax bill if you are currently going to college or have a dependent who's in school. Number 1, I've talked about before. This is the AOTC, the American Opportunity Tax Credit. It allows you to get up to $2,500 in tax credit if you spend money on tuition. I made another video on this, so I'm not going to go too much deeper. Next is the Lifelong Learning Credit, the LLC. This is very much like the AOTC, except you can use it for grad school, and you can really use it for any type of education. This can include things like ad hoc research. Please make sure that you are deducting your interest payments if you are paying interest on student loans. You don't have to itemize your deductions, you just have to claim them above the line to reduce your taxable income. Speaking of deductions, you can deduct up to $4,000 of qualified tuition and book expenses. You can do all of these, but not on the same student and certainly not on the same expenses.
What's a piece of information that can save you money that most people don't?
You can deduct your student loan interest. As long as you make less than 80 grand, you can deduct $2,500 of interest. Assuming you're in the 22% tax bracket, which most people are, that's $550 saved. You don't even have to itemize. It takes about 5 seconds when you do your taxes. If you are a student, you are paying to use that title. When I was in college, I did a report on sustainable companies, and I reached out to MSCI, which is this massive data provider that gives out ESG scores. They don't give it out, they sell them. But I was a student and I asked nicely, so they said yes. For reference, they charge about $20,000 a year for this service to professionals. This also plays a huge role in informational interviews. You can connect with someone on LinkedIn or get their email address from their website and say, hey, I'm a student. I would love to sit down and have coffee with you for an hour. And the probability of you getting that interview, I don't care if they're the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, is not only higher than you think, it's actually feasible. Using this trick, just saying I'm a student, I was able to have conversations with portfolio managers at Goldman Sachs and vice presidents at PIMCO, and it absolutely skyrocketed my professional development.
What's a piece of information that you learned that feels illegal to know?
The IRS will pay you $1,000 every single year for the first 4 years you go to college. All you have to do is attach it to your Form 1040 and you get a $1,000 refund if you spend money on tuition.